Just got done reading a new article going over some of the details about the impact that took place in Greenland. And they're saying that this is one of the youngest events that they've discovered in terms of impact craters on our planet. And there's still a lot to be unraveled in terms of that whole event, going back to around 12,500, 12,800 years ago, the Younger Dryas period, and all the mystery surrounding that and the changes of this planet. We know that there was massive flooding, and we know that there was some impact events. With all of that said, you would think that with the technology that we have here today, we would be doing everything in our power to try to stop any kind of impact from potentially happening here on planet Earth. But every government's different. Every bit of technology that they have is different. And of course, they put on a show for everyone here on the world stage and what's really happening. And some have to ask, how much could they really do? We've heard some of these agencies say they're going to go out there and try to catch an asteroid and shift it off in another direction and do this and that. But the reality is, and we know, that if you do try to go up and explode some kind of device on an asteroid, you risk that shattering it into all kinds of pieces that are unpredictable, completely unpredictable. And you could send it on a path toward us. Now, granted, they could be smaller chunks versus one bigger impact. They could do this to something that was never going to hit us and cause chunks to hit us. There's a lot of different variables, a lot of different risks. And sometimes some would say, well, depending on the situation, you have to do something rather than nothing, especially if you have the means to try to do it. We'd rather deal with a couple incoming or a fragmented comet or asteroid rather than one big, large one that could just wipe everything out. Well, it looks like we had an event similar to that when you talk about Greenland and the impact craters up there and what they've discovered already in terms of the meteorites and the huge chunks up there. But when Japan talks about getting up there and dropping the spacecraft on an asteroid and then detonating explosives, you have to ask yourself, what are the consequences, especially if this is something not coming at us? Now, it's a whole different talk if it's coming directly at us and this and that. But if something's not, and you make a move to where this thing could send shrapnel, so to speak, our way, well, who's to say they haven't already pulled these things off or tried that or attempted it anyway? Other agencies. Japan's just coming out and announcing it, saying this is what they're doing, and wanted to make you guys aware of this. So as time goes by, they advance in these missions. We see any interactions with fireballs here on planet Earth, an uptick of them that may coincide with something. Well, we'll just have to wait and see. But as of right now, this is what they're saying. I'm going to leave a link below. I'll continue to update as I come across more. It's been Dabu7.